Hello there, folks. Today we're going to check out the arcade version of Doom, or the arcade mode of Doom, right? This was a new update that came out somewhere towards the end of October, and I haven't really had a chance to explore this too much, but I thought I'd kind of give you guys a perspective or take you through a little bit of gameplay into what exactly the arcade mode is. First thing I wanted to do was basically change all of my settings to Ultra because I just recently reinstalled drivers and it dropped back to the default settings. So I've just changed it and I'm going to stick to OpenGL as the engine. You have a choice to choose between Vulkan and OpenGL, but I'm going to stick with OpenGL for now. Now, what's interesting from a campaign perspective is that it's like any other campaign, right? You start at the beginning, you go all the way through the storyline, build your weapons, and so on. The arcade mode is significantly different from that perspective, right? Um, it's all about this little stages where you go in, do whatever you need to from an objective perspective, get in and get out, right? If you can see over here, we've selected the Necropolis, and it talks about your boost multipliers. It talks about the medals that you can earn. You can shoot mines that are relics, and so on, right? Now, each stage can be played on any difficulty with all of your power-ups unlocked, and that's the best part. From here, you get points in terms of killing enemies, picking up health, armor, score boosting items. Consecutive kills increase the score multiplier with a max capacity of 32x, like it's pointed out there. You receive bonuses for headshots, glory kills, and so on, right? Now, what's interesting here is in the arcade mode is you can actually you have a loadout screen as well, right? It's good to see that we're locked in at 60 FPS for now. Now, in the loadout screen, you have all of these options where you have your weapons. You can actually choose different add-ons to them. Now, most of this is basically set by default. This is a super shotgun that's being shown on your screen right now, and it allows you faster reload, uranium, bullets for better armor piercing and stuff like that. As you go through each of them, you can see that you can go with the default or you can equip some of the more advanced stuff that's there. And what's interesting is that this was never seen before in Doom, particularly, right? So I find this extremely interesting if you are familiar with all of the weapons, their add-ons. This can be the difference maker in the game between either surviving or getting to a gold, or a silver or a bronze or whatever medal you're aiming for, right? I'm not entirely familiar with all of these weapons, so I'm exploring most of these for the very first time myself. But it is interesting that this option is there. So let's begin the run, and I'll take you through and talk you through some of how this thing actually plays out. So here we are. We're just starting off at the Necropolis. We're gonna go look for some armor. This is basically where you pick up all your shit, right? Pick up all of the bullets and ammunition and armors and armor shards and so on. This health boosts that are there. Alright, looking through. Alright, now you see those portals, those things unlock as and when you sort of destroy waves of enemies. If you pass by, there's a blue door that you just saw over there, right? Now you basically got to pick up skulls, colored skulls, which you got to put into them. Now these are portals that you pass through, and you can actually go ahead and see all the enemies coming in. Alright, testing to see if melee works. If you look at the bottom right, we changed explosive shells. Now we're changing charge burst, changing back to explosive shot. Alright. Now let's get into the thick of things. Checking out all of the weapons that are there. So the heavy assault rifle is my personal favorite because it's extremely accurate. There you go, headshot. It's extremely versatile, very, very fast, very rapid. Some armor. It isn't very effective against large enemies like these because it doesn't even look like it's piercing them. But change it to something. Change the Gatling gun. So I just changed this into the mobile turret. So Mashal, you see the green thing glowing there? That's the additional life. So in case I die, I get an option to restart from the checkpoint. Now every stage has, I believe, about 3 extra lives that you can actually pick up. So avoid dying as much as possible because once you restart from the checkpoint, you will consume one of your lives. This is plasma rifle, one of my all-time favorites from the old Doom. The rocket launcher is as effective as always. Now here's where you push in one of the keys, and this would open one of the portals. Now it spawns more enemies here, but so I'm using the regular shotgun. Now this is a super shotgun. I can tell you how incredibly overpowered this weapon is. It's not the likes of your rocket launchers or anything that powerful, but close combat, that is the gun that you want to have. All right, let's blow this big guy using the rocket launcher. So you get these bonuses. Now if you look at my multiplier on top, the one that says 16x right at the top screen, now it's down to 8x. But that's the bonus multiplier. It's back to 16, so that's like the maximum multiplier that you can get for now. Now here's the second skull that I'm going to push in. That's going to open up. Now that basically is something that will basically clear out your entire screen. Barrel kill. So that's the personal best I've got at this level so far. I hate these Kako demons. That's a headshot there. But close combat, this thing is incredibly powerful. I'm really low on health. 22%. Now, if I pick this up, this is basically called haste. It allows me to speed through everything super fast. It reloads fast. It allows me to move really fast through the stages. And 151% health at this point.
Maximum multiplier.
And a 32x multiplier, which is at this point the maximum that I can get started.
Maximum multiplier.
So this is what I was telling you about how powerful the super shotgun is. You need to make sure that you use this really well. It's really good for close quarters. This is really good for range. The heavy assault rifle. I find it particularly ineffective against bigger guys. Range for smaller enemies, perfect. But for bigger enemies like these, not that effective. Teleporter, so that this thing is clear, this stage is cleared. It's opened up one of those gates. There's the one where I find the yellow skull. Now I pick up this yellow skull, I go back. Look at the blood dripping from the ceiling. I mean, that visually it is absolutely incredible. So I'm back to the portal where I started. Now that's the yellow door. That's where I go in and put in the um, yellow skull. This is the portal where I need to go into next. That's where I came in from as well, where it takes me to the next level. And then I got to find the blue skull next. All right. And once I do that, it'll open up one of these other portals. So I stick this in. The levers. So this sort of opens up another part of the level, right? Now it doesn't necessarily tell you where, so you'll have to sort of figure it out. There is a map which you can obviously look at, but I didn't find it very useful. But I may not have been looking at it right. All right, now it's time to go into back to where we came from. Now, if you look at that, you have all of these armors and shards. Just pick these up before the weapons, before the bad guys start coming in. And use that to destroy this. Clear out as much as I can. Modify at this point. Ready to use slingshot. And there you go, the super shotgun comes into play again. And I tell you, this weapon is incredibly insane. What I like about this engine is that it now what damage is on. Now literally at this point I shouldn't be wasting any kind of ammo actually hitting these guys. I can literally just walk into them and they will die, right? So this is a mistake. I probably learned it after I spent quite a bit of ammo, but look at that, I just walked straight into him and dead. Boom. Boom.
Maximum multiplier.
Doing that, support damage is over. I haven't realized it. I'm still trying to make the best of it, but 9% health. Now that door opened up now. So now I pick up the blue skull. I go back to the portal, right back to the place where we found all of the blue doors and the yellow doors, and then we pick up from there. I think I'm just gonna go pick up some health, some armor, some weapons. We don't have weapons really, just pick up some ammo. Ammo is extremely scarce in this game at times. It flows like water, and before you know it, you're actually out of ammo for most of your favorite weapons. Alright, let's just go back and see. Oops, okay. Alright, let's put this in. Alright, so we're back through the door, open the lever. is where the heavy assault rifle really shines. It's super useful in picking off smaller enemies like this, but not so useful at bigger enemies because I'm actually firing at him from a range, but not doing a lot of damage. And I think at this point, extremely low on health, low on armor. I think my armor's all gone at this point, and I'm almost dead. Oops, there we go. Alright, I'm going to just reload from the last checkpoint. The game isn't easy, the arcade mode, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, as you can see that the pace is extremely frantic. Alright, so I've already done that. I'm going to get in here at this point is when look, there's a shotgun. There you go. The people spawning through. I'm gonna make the same mistake twice. Doing any kind of damage to them. That's the other thing with the super shotgun, right? You can double tap to shoot two rounds at the same one after the other. Very useful in close combat. Close quarters. Alright. Oh wow. And you know it's gone. What? Oh, boot to the face. Alright, well, you know, this in a sense is the arcade mode of Doom, right? It's a lot of fun. You can just jump right in with all of your weapons loaded and so on. And you can actually go ahead and have a lot of fun playing it. It sort of extends the entire life of the single player campaign. So if you haven't really, or if you've already played Doom and you really enjoy the single player campaign but didn't find a lot of replayability in the campaign mode, the arcade mode is just for you. And at least for me, I sort of start, I sort of start believing that, you know, a game such as Doom with such an intense single player story mode or campaign mode would come to an end. And it was a fairly long campaign, so I was pretty satisfied overall with the game. But now with the introduction of arcade mode, you get to replay all of those fun levels again, not necessarily from scratch, but you get to start from a point where you can just go in with everything loaded and have, you know, a lot of fun in a very short amount of time and come back. You know, I can tell you that typically some of the more difficult levels in Doom, you know, at the higher difficulty modes, they can take in excess of 80 to 90 minutes to finish that level, right? And I've gone through them, so I can speak from experience. But you know, it's not the case in arcade mode. You can just get right in 10-15 minutes, have a good time, and get back, right? So I think this just extends the playability of the game. It's a whole lot of fun, and if you sort of want to get into and if you like this kind of a mode that just allows you to just play and quickly adds that much more replayability to the game, then the arcade mode is definitely for you. All right. Well, stay tuned. Do subscribe to our channel, and you know, we'll be putting up more of these arcade mode videos. Also, stay tuned for more gaming, movie, comic reviews, and goodness. All right. Until then, see you guys.